All right, everybody, it's the Combat Cast with the man they call Dave and Chevarooney. And we are going to do some MMA Jeopardy today. We're going to talk about what's coming up, talk very little about this past week's card. I think less said the better. And let's get started. First, here's the video. Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Chevy, tell me what we got coming up.
All right, June 4th, we're going to be previewing UFC Fight Night Volkov versus Rosenstruck. Then June 11th, we're going to be back with a big UFC card, 275, Teixeira versus Prochaska, Yuri. And then June 18th, UFC Fight Night Cater versus Emmett. That's going to be a banger main event for sure.
Oh, yeah. Just stylistically, the way those two throw hands.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of banger main event, talk about this past weekend. We were at Pistol Pete's for most of it. I did not even bother to check this card out. I did not hear good things from one of our buddies. I did hear that a lot of people thought Holm won, but I also heard that it wasn't really a fight worth checking out. So.
Well, I'll just cruise through the card really quick. I watched it on Sunday because I did show up to Pistol Pete's for a limited amount of time. Sorry, Randy Oscar. I know I said I wouldn't be there, but on the prelims, our boy Parker Porter, he's from West Hartford, local guy. He lost to Halitan Almeida, who is a light heavyweight. Came up on short notice to fight Parker. He's just too fast. He wrestled him and beat him up and ended up rear naked choking him. So that's all right. That's I think he had 3 wins in a row before that, so he's gonna be okay. On to the main event. Iron Turtle, our boy Iron Turtle beat Eric Anders via split decision. It was a pretty close fight, but I just think Anders' cardio was really the difference maker. He just got tired really early. Commentary team was mentioning how great his physique was looking, and a lot of times all that extra muscle just burns through that oxygen faster, builds up that lactic acid. A la Tyron Woodley-esque sort of thing. So yeah. That's what happened to him. He's got a lot of losses now. He's in the danger zone for maybe getting cut at this point. I'm not sure, but he's got to be thinking about it.
It's 2 in a row, but
he's very up and down.
Yeah, his last 4 fights, he's lost 3, won 1, and had a no contest.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I don't know how much money he's getting paid. I always think that factors into the decision of keeping a fighter on the roster or not. If they're, a big money earner and they're losing fights, they get cut faster. So Tabitha Ricci outclassed Polyana Viana on the feet for sure. She looked much better, faster, and then she was landing all these double leg takedowns, and Polyana, who's a great jiu-jitsu fighter, was too content off her back and just kept going for all these submissions, but ultimately never getting them. So she just fought off her back the entire fight, and obviously that doesn't look good to judges, so she ended up losing a decision as well. But I'm not sure what's next for Tabitha. She's looked pretty good in her last few fights.
Yeah, I'm looking at like right now women's strawweight, and I'm like, man, that's a tough division though.
Yeah, those top few fighters are a few levels above the rest of the girls, I think.
I'm excited about this next fight you're going to talk about, though.
Yeah, Michelle Piera won a split decision over Santiago Ponzinibbio. This was what I claimed was going to be fight of the night, and I don't know if it actually got the award. Did well? I thought it deserved it. It was very back and forth. Both guys looked great, and definitely went for it the entire time.
One little note too, by the way, just because I didn't know this, and it was buried on the undercard. But Chase Hooper was on this card. He actually got a win.
Oh yes, yeah, he dominated. Actually, he looked really good. They talked about, he's starting to fill out. I think he's 21 now. He's starting to look a little bit more like a man, not just a skinny teenager. He looked great. He looked like he had a new fire. He looked ready to go for sure. So
I'm gonna check that out. I like Chase. So
yeah, that was a good fight to go back. It was a very good performance. I was super happy to see that. I'd like to see him, move on and become a star in the UFC for sure.
Did you check this fight out too? I didn't hear you in the middleweight. This was on the main card. Chidi Njokuani.
Oh yes, I skipped over that one. Sorry. Yes, Chidi. It's Njokuani. I can't remember. I had it before we started recording, but yeah, he landed a brutal elbow on Dusko Todorovic.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, he's a great kickboxer. He's been on the regional scene. He had a bunch of fights in Bellator. He did well.
He's got 4 in a row too. His last 4 are all finishes, and finished in the Contender Series, and then his first 2 fights for UFC are finishes now at middleweight. So good for him.
Yeah, sometimes that's the plus to coming to UFC when you already have all that experience. You don't get flustered, and you know what you're capable of at that point, so you don't really get the UFC jitters and all that. But he had a good game plan. He waited for what he knew Dusko was going to do, which was clinch with him. And he just created space. He framed in the clinch and landed an elbow right on the temple and put him down. And the ref stepped in there quick, which he should have, because it was a great shot.
I wonder. He's clearly not even close to this guy. Like, he's not ranked or anything. He just started, but stylistically, I wonder a fight with Uriah Hall, somebody like that, where this guy's right.
That'd be a very exciting stand-up fight for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like this. Edmund Shabazian, I know, who's fouled on hard times too, but likes to bring it. He's right at number 15 too, so maybe that's a realistic one, and that could be fun too.
Yeah, Chidi's not a young guy, so try to move him along as best they can, and that might be a good matchup. Shabazian. I don't know if that's a great matchup for Shabazian. I don't want to see him just get tunneled to obscurity, but.
But it's tough. He's the opposite. He's a guy that came to UFC very young.
Yep, exactly, and that's the risk you run at that point. So, main event time. Ketlin Vieira won a split decision over Holly Holm in a fight where not much happened. There's a lot of debate online I've seen. Ketlin landed like 4 significant punches in the fight, and Holly Holm held her up against the octagon cage for 10 of the 25 minutes of the fight. So Holly thinks she got robbed. It's really, and DC talked about this too. It's really a question of how you judge a fight. Is it, how much weight do you give damage? How much weight do you give octagon control?
Interesting.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Vera got the win. To me, they're not going to like rematch these two if they're not having an
absolutely not.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it. Unless she's going to fight someone below her, she's probably meeting the winner of Amanda Nunes Pena.
That's what she wants. She said she would wait for as long as it takes for that.
Yeah. Okay. So even if those two have a trilogy for some reason, let's say Nunes wins, and so Just wait it out. Yeah, I get
With
that.
that being said, Valentina also threw her hat in the ring, I believe, saying that she might go up and fight the winner of that. And she's definitely jumping Ketlin Vieira in line for that fight.
I would agree with that. So if that's the
Yeah.
case, she might have to take another fight.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Irene Aldana and Raquel Pennington right below Holly Holm next to her.
She already lost to Aldana, I believe.
Well, I mean, with her wins, that could be a fight that makes sense.
Yeah, might get that one back maybe. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right.
Do you think Holm's gonna get another main event?
Actually, thanks for reminding me because I was ready to just skip over this, but I was actually thinking about this too. At this point, I think, look, she's a mentally tough athlete. I was going to say woman, but she's just a mentally tough athlete to do like what she did in boxing, and then to even be the UFC Women's Bantamweight champion at one point, stop Ronda Rousey, to have these big fights that she's had. It's enough. It's impressive. She's had quite a career. I'm not calling it quits for anything, but I do wonder at this point, with women's boxing getting a little more shine recently with some names, if she wouldn't maybe be better going off financially and trying maybe to go back to boxing. I don't know where she ranks in the boxing world, but I mean, God, you want a championship already here. A couple fights haven't gone anywhere. If I don't know what her contractual status is either. Right. I mean, if she's only got one more fight, let's say, I mean, a change of scenery and go to Bellator, you're a bigger name and you get some decent fights over there. I could see her being a champion. And, I mean, I don't know. I think she's got some good options in her career, but right now I feel like she's a little flat in the UFC, and a lot of those decisions arguably could have gone her way. There were some really close fights that could have been, and her style though isn't always the most exciting. So I don't see UFC being in such a hurry to pay her loads and loads of money. So to me, I think does she get on the main event at this point? Not right away. It would take some work. And personally, I hope for a change of scenery as a fan. As a fan, I hope to see her maybe in Bellator or maybe boxing, because I am a fan of Holm and I'd like to see her in a scene, something different where she can maybe make some waves. And right now, her current UFC one, I just think, unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out. Now, she's a proud athlete. So that she don't give a shit what I think. She's going to obviously try to do what she wants to do. But she's mentioned about having some interest in boxing and stuff before again. I think Clarissa Shields was one of the ones she talked about, right? Mm-hmm. And I know she just recently lost an MMA fight too. And she was nowhere near so far had the career in MMA of Holly Holm. She only had 2 MMA fights, lost her second one. Her first one didn't even look that well against someone I think that was really picked for her.
Yeah.
So
she barely won. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, that's a fight that could make sense. And, with Jake Paul, doing some things like with, God, I'm breaking out famous.
Amanda Serrano?
No. Yeah. But like, who's the famous boxing promoter they've been doing business with too? Eddie Hearn. Thank you. Yeah. So they're all working together. So, I mean, I could see some big stuff for Holly if she went back to boxing. And honestly, too, if she got into Bellator or even PFL and have a chance to win that $1 million, I think almost anything at this point would be a good career move. And if she does well in Bellator or PFL, in boxing, UFC's always back down the road, but get some shine back on that name, make some money, enjoy this part of your career. But yeah, that's what I think right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think she's not young as far as an athlete goes. She's nearing the twilight of her career for sure. I don't think personally she's going to get another UFC main event, regardless if she stays on the roster or not. I think her fighting style, she's shown that as great a striker as she is, she's willing, if someone is a powerful striker to come against her, she's willing to just wrestle them and go to a boring decision. Now, is this fight going to change her mind after that, where she thinks she got robbed by the judges? Maybe, but I don't think so. I think she's going to implement the game plan that Greg Jackson gives her. And I don't think Greg Jackson's going to be changing his mind about game plans anytime soon. So as far as Holly goes, she had, like you said, she has expressed interest in boxing. And like you said, women's boxing is getting a bit of a boost now. So now might be a great time for her to go over there. She has won titles, multiple titles in women's boxing, so it might be time to make a return over there.
I'd like to see her in Bellator too. The more I think about it, I know like boxes, but like because Bellator, like if you look at Holm, like she's got that name, and if you look at it's real easy to market too and be like, she had a couple decisions not go her way that should have maybe gone her way, and it's real easy to sell her as a former UFC bantamweight champion. And Bellator is willing to do business with boxing, other promotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the grass for Holly would be greener on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
But yeah, we'll see what's going on. All right, let's try some MMA Jeopardy, man. Let's see if we can bring this thing up.
Let's see if we can sort this out. See if I can figure out how to do this.
Sorry about drinking that water, Producer Joe. That's on me.
Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you change the stream to see the screen?
Absolutely. There we go.
Okay. All right. So the way we're gonna do this, we'll let you go first.
All right.
If there's any comments, okay, any Randy Osgoes or Cage My IQ, please don't shout out any answers. We'll give you an opportunity if Dave and I both get stumped. We'll give you like 10 seconds or something.
So you can pick. You're gonna hit the button I can't.
I will pick whatever one you would like to start with, sir.
Okay. It looks like history is blocked out, right? I see that. Looks like.
I think that's just the one that you can start with if you want. I can select this if you want.
All right. Let's start off with history then. Let's start off with history for 100.
For 100? Okay.
Yeah.
This is the official name of the UFC. That's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Ultimate Fighting Championship. Let's see. Reveal Ultimate Fighting Championship. All right.
Like what is though?
No, that's fine. It doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I want to do it too.
Okay, so Dave gets the 100 points.
I see
Krylo Ren in the comments. Dave's gonna whoop your butt. That's my wife.
I know. I thought so.
That's great support from my wife.
Yeah. She tuned in just for that.
Yeah.
Wait, am I going again? Or
no, I'll go now.
Okay.
I will do Fighters Heroes for 300. The first ever female fighter in the UFC. Well, that's either Liz Carmouche or Ronda Rousey. So I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey. Okay. So that was for 300 for me.
Very good. I like that we're correcting. We know that could be the one. Not sure what that's going to say. All right. Well, I'll go for Fighters and Heroes for 500. Let's go all the way up.
500. Okay, we're going big. Okay. So this. All right. So let me tell you, this was made in, I want to say April of this year, I believe.
Okay. Well, if it was made of April of this year, oh God.
So that was last month.
Then it would have been Glover Teixeira. But it's going to be John
Jones. So maybe that wasn't the time. So let's skip that one.
Okay.
We'll give you another one.
Okay.
We're working out the kinks. This is the first.
So 500. Ethics and rules. Oh, interesting. This one
okay.
Can be challenging.
This is the most you can weigh in for the middleweight division.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple answers here.
Okay, I like this. I like where your head's at.
All right. So if you're weighing in for a regular middleweight fight, you can weigh in 186. That's a pound over. All right. The middleweight division is a 185-pound weight class. All right. So, or 186. And we all know
that's never made sense to me ever.
Right. And if it's a championship fight, I think you're allowed a half pound. We just recently.
Okay.
So let's see where we're at.
185 pounds. Yeah. We'll give you the points.
Yeah, I had a feeling. It's like I was going to tell you too. I was going to actually say or John Bone Jones, because I had a feeling. But anyway, let's continue with this.
Okay, let's. I'm going to go with Fighters Heroes for 400. This is the winningest UFC fighter in the history of the sport.
Oh wow.
Winningest. What does that mean? Most wins?
Yeah, that's what I would take it as. I'm not actually sure, but the guys that come to mind would be like, I mean,
Well, let me guess first.
okay, because I mean, it might be. I don't know how accurate it's going to be.
Does it have to be winningest UFC fighters?
Yeah.
Like all their wins are in the UFC, or
yes, that's what I'm taking it as.
I'm gonna go with. Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna say it's either. Well, I'll give one answer. I'll say Cowboy. But
Okay.
I'm thinking it's either Cowboy or Bisping.
Okay, I would accept 3 possible. Cowboy would be one of the answers I would accept. Let's see what you got.
Anderson Silva.
This thing's bullshit.
So,
fuck, dude.
All right. Well, I didn't
Google
get
this right now. Here's the fighters: Donald Cerrone, Arvelasky, and Jim Miller are all tied at 3, with Damian Maia right behind at 22.
Okay, so next time we do this, I will look at the date that these were made because I believe they're on there. So I will look at the dates because obviously that is a big factor in these kinds of things. So no points for me.
That's all right. Let's keep going. I don't even know where we're at now. We got Randy in here. Let's go, Chevy.
Yeah. All right, Randy. I don't know if you were in here, but don't shout out any answers unless Dave and I both get stumped. Then we'll give you an opportunity.
Let's do this. This is business right here.
Yep.
What's the one next to it? Like our logo's over it.
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. All right, let's go big. Let's go 500 miscellaneous.
Oh, geez. Okay. This is the most recent UFC championship matchup. All right. Let's go with you could just say the most recent UFC championship matchup.
Right. So we just saw a championship match in the UFC. What was the last match we saw? Give me a second here. So Rose and Sparza was the co-main event. And the main event, which oh God, who was the main event that night?
Dude, we need that Jeopardy music, you know.
Oh yeah. Why do I only remember the boring ass fight?
All right, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
That's fair. Oh, Sterling Yan.
Okay,
Sterling won.
I'm gonna say it was Gaethje and Charles Oliveira.
That's what it was. Fuck me.
Okay, so I'm gonna give myself the points because I don't know what the fuck this is gonna say. UFC 182. Yeah, that's 100 UFCs ago. So this is on me for picking this. But
also, it's a pay-per-view.
I'm gonna give myself those points. So
good. You deserve it.
Okay. All right. And now it's my turn. Let's do business for 200. I have no idea what's gonna be in these. So this is the amount of money it costs to purchase a UFC championship fight on pay-per-view. Well, this is probably old.
Yeah.
Right now, I believe it is $74.99.
It is.
It is. So let's see what it was whenever this was made. $50. I wish, but we know it's $74.99, right? So
yeah.
I'm gonna give myself the points for that too.
Like $49.99 at that point, actually. But
yeah,
anyway.
R.I.P. to those days. Am I right?
All right,
Dave. What do you got?
Let's go business for 400.
Business 400. All right. This is currently the amount of UFC video games there are.
Oh,
I know the answer to this one. So
okay, yeah, you might as well still. I'll just go 4.
That's right. 4 is right. What is 10 games? No, there's not 10 UFC games.
I wonder if there's like old school games that they're counting here.
I'm gonna give you the points because 4 is the correct answer.
UFC 4 is out.
What 10 games there are. Oh man, I picked the worst Jeopardy game, apparently. All right, let's go with miscellaneous for 400. This is the amount of fighting divisions in the UFC.
Okay.
So let's see. $11. Sorry for all that dead air.
That's okay. Let's see what it says.
You got a different answer?
I think you're right. I think I forgot one. I had 10 in mind, so 11 sounds good to me.
All right. I'm going to go through them really quick.
Yeah.
Women's strawweight,
Yep.
flyweight,
Yep.
bantamweight.
Yeah.
I think I missed one.
Oh.
Featherweight. Does featherweight really count? It's just
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes.
It's
I mean,
well, Nunes is champ. Yeah, okay.
It's a belt, so that's 4. And
Four.
then men's division is
Flyweight?
flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight.
Oh.
Light heavyweight would be 11.
Yeah,
Heavyweight would be 12. So really,
That's
we're both wrong.
Yeah, I forgot a couple too. I forgot women's flyweight actually.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on. So that's the first one we both got wrong, I believe, though. So that's good.
Let's keep that stroke going. 500 business.
Okay. This is a country outside of the U.S. with the most UFC events hosted. Okay.
Brazil.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
UFC events hosted. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Let's see.
Brazil. Okay.
Yeah.
19's probably not the right answer, but it's probably
yeah.
still Brazil. So we'll give you those points.
Yeah. Because they made a big deal. Who made this?
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Some random person. So we got to do a better job. This would be better if we had, like a producer Joe or something to vet these questions beforehand. But
yeah.
Maybe next time. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do you're getting a bit ahead of me here, so I'm going to do history for 500.
There you go.
This is the amount of fighters currently in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Shit. That would be
Dave,
hard.
Can you look this up or do you have a guess first? I'm going to guess 12. I don't know. I really have no answer.
Well, the thing is about the UFC Hall of Fame too is it's broken up
right by fights and
yeah. I have a feeling at this time it was probably just fighters in there. There's a Wikipedia page on UFC Hall of Fame inductees. How many did you guess?
12.
Okay, so we got Gracie Show 2, Dan 7-3, Couture 4, Coleman 5, Chuck Liddell 6, Hughes 7, Tito Ortiz 8, Pat Militech 9, Boss Rutan 10, Big Nog 11, Don Fry 12, Maurice Smith 13. So we're still going. Sakuraba 14, Matt Serra 15, Rich Franklin.
Matt Serra.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Okay.
And then finally Kevin Randleman at 17. And then they have they have a modern ring too. Which is
I was way short then.
Yeah. That would be a tough one.
All right. Well, what do you think this number is? Probably
4.
Yeah. 12. I would have been right with 12.
Right. I thought we could give that to you. Go ahead.
No. That's okay. All right. What do you got, Dave?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Damian Van Horn. We're trying out here, brother. All right. Let's see what we got left. Yeah, I'm going for the heavy ones here too. Let's go 400 UFC history.
UFC history. Okay. This is where the very first UFC match took place.
Oh, shit. Man, I don't know that one.
Just the state, I think, would be
acceptable. Okay. I'm going to guess Virginia.
All right. I'm going to guess.
Wait. I'm going to take one back, actually. I'm going to go Colorado.
Okay. I'm going to go with Alabama.
All right.
Okay. Colorado. You got it.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Nice.
Let's see. I'm going to go with ethics and rules for 400.
Yes.
This is the most common submission that occurs in the UFC. I'm going to go with rear naked choke. You got a different answer?
Let's see.
Rear naked choke. Okay. What do you got, Dave?
All right. So we only got 300 left here. Let's go with history for 300.
Okay. This is the president of the UFC. That's a $300 or 300-point question, huh?
That's Dana White, brother.
Okay. I already gave you the points.
Nice. Oh, you want it back? There we go.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with ethics and rules for 300. This is the amount of judges that judge each fight. 3.
Yeah, it's 3. Yep. Very good. Well, at least we're getting to stuff now where it's actually correct. We know this.
Yep.
Let's go miscellaneous 300.
This former U.S. senator attempted to ban the UFC originally.
Yeah, that's John McCain.
Yep, I agree with you.
That's,
Yep, John McCain.
Yeah.
John McClane is from Die Hard.
Die Hard, yep.
But I know what you meant. So,
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with ethics and rules for 200. This is the amount of rounds in a championship fight. The answer is 5.
Absolutely.
5 rounds.
This is actually good. We should have tried to do the easier ones because they're probably more correct.
Apparently.
Let's do ethics and rules for 100.
This is the amount of sides in a ring.
4.
I'm going to go with 8.
Oh, because it's an octagon. I was thinking like a ring, but the ring would be 4. But all right, let's see what it says. 8 sides. Yep.
This is a UFC.
Right. Yeah, but I was thinking combat sports that is like, but yeah, right. Why would I think this would be that? Yeah, of course.
I'm in too many buttons. All right, I'm going to go with history for 200. This is when the first UFC match was.
Okay, I got a guess for this if you don't, so go ahead.
1993?
I'm going to go with 92. You might be correct, though.
1993. Okay, yeah, UFC 1, 1993.
I had if it was 1993. I'm like, well, he said 93, so let me try to steal it.
Okay.
You're killing it, man. Let's go with miscellaneous for 200.
Chuck Liddell's famous nickname.
That would be the Iceman.
Yeah, it would be the Iceman. That is right.
You keeping score on this? I don't even know.
Yeah, you can't see it, but it's at the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right here. Yeah, you're winning by 500. So I'm going to go with business for 300, try to catch up here.
That's what you got.
This is the location most UFC events take place. I'm going to go with Las Vegas, Nevada. United States of America. That is correct.
Damn right. All right. So we're
close. We're getting close.
All right. Let me see if I can put you out here. 200 for fighters and heroes.
This is the largest size division for fighters in the UFC.
When they say largest size, we're talking about weight class. That's heavyweight. I
assume, yeah.
Okay.
Heavyweight,
so yeah, I would go heavyweight.
What is the heavyweight division? Okay.
It was so easy. I was like, is that right?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna go fighters heroes for 100. This former UFC heavyweight champion was once a popular WWE wrestler. Brock Lesnar.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. All right, we're down to our last 2 here, Dave.
I'll take miscellaneous.
This is the main contender for the UFC in Japan.
When was this made? This is what I think it is.
I'll let you guess two here.
Okay. Well,
guess an old one and a current one.
I would say Pride. And it's going to be the answer. Now, if current, I can think of Asia, not specifically Japan, to be one championship, I would think. But so yeah, let's go with Pride or one championship.
All right, I'm going to guess Pride or Ryzen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually in Japan, so let's see.
It'd be Pride.
Yeah, we knew what they were going to do.
So you are now out of reach, so you're going to win, but I will take business for 100. This is the amount of countries UFC is broadcasted. How is this a 100-point question when Dana White, who's the president of the UFC, was a 300-point question?
Oh, that's awesome.
The amount of countries UFC... this probably isn't accurate anymore. You might have
probably
to look
not.
this up.
I'll guess a number. You guess a number. Let's just see what happens.
I'm going to say 95 countries.
Okay, I was going to say 53. So.
Okay. 150. Neither one of us are right. That's a lot of good. Good on the UFC.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so that's our first round of Jeopardy. We'll do a little bit more research on when the games are developed, because that made a big difference, especially in our history ones. So Dave is the winner. The man they call Dave with 3,000 points. I'm a runner-up today with 2,600.
Thank you, Dave.
Might be able to get some guests on here to play this with us. Doesn't always have to be just UFC. We might just go with MMA, or you might see this on some of the other podcasts on our network.
Yeah. We might try to do this with some wrestling too. We'll see if I can talk to Joe. Actually, Joe is filling in for me this week with AJ. So maybe he'll do this. Maybe not advertising it, but something to think about. If we can maybe come up with something a little more up to date. But other than that, this is a nice little thing to do once in a while.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was fun. But Memorial Day weekend's coming up, so we'll be back to fighting in the next couple weeks. Tell us one more time what we got on tap, man.
All right, June 4th, we're going to be previewing UFC Fight Night Volkov versus Rosenstruck, big heavyweight fight. Then after that, June 11th, UFC 275, Teixeira versus Prochaska. Then June 18th, UFC Fight Night, Cater versus Emmett.
All right, some good fights coming up. Guys, enjoy yourself this holiday weekend for the Combat Cast. Next week, by the way, is an episode number 50. Looking forward to that. It's been a lot of fun so far. And guys, we will see you at the fights.